I'm glad you brought this up because I've had this before with people who enjoy their governors, mainly Floridians, because they seem to love Ron DeSantis down there. I wish he was my governor. My governor sucks. Anyway, are we wasting our guys? Are we wasting our best people when we encourage our governors who we love to run for president? Maybe the worst thing is that they win. Why? Go get swallowed up by the swamp and then Florida's worse off? Is this a mistake? Are we making a mistake here?
I think it's an interesting philosophical argument, and it's certainly something worth discussing because DeSantis clearly is the best guy. He is doing absolutely everything that any of us, let's say right-leaning, would ask for. Getting wokeness out of schools, fighting Disney, getting rid of all the gender stuff. He's cutting taxes here left and right, even though we don't even have an income tax in the first place. We rebuilt after Hurricane Ian, incredibly strong. He brought in, Florida still, even right now, is getting 1,200 new people a day. We're building roads fast, we're building houses fast. The only issue that Florida has, and this is not his fault, this is a consequence of success, is that they literally cannot build houses fast enough. We're building incredibly fast here, but when you have that many people coming here to share in the freedom and the joy and the success of this place, we do have high house prices, but house prices is a problem all over the country, even in Cali where people are fleeing, although that's because BlackRock and Vanguard and some of those other companies are just buying up all the real estate. But it's an interesting philosophical debate. I honestly don't know what the answer is. I mean, to me, as a new Floridian, I so love this place. I so care about this place. I want this thing. He just got reelected, right? We've got years and years where he can continue to strengthen this thing. And I do think there's a risk that we send him out there, especially because he has to get through a fight with Trump. And clearly Trump is going to throw everything in, including the kitchen sink. And does he, become irreparably wounded? And then we end up with, Biden too, or Kamala, or Gavin Newsom, or something else, and then a wounded DeSantis coming back to Florida. That's not great.
Dave,
what do you think?
I just got to pause. Well, I'll be honest with you, man. Mine sounds a little doomsday, to be honest with you. I do not believe that our federal system can be salvaged. Actually, I don't. Certainly not for decades and decades and decades. I believe in local politics, definitely state, city politics now. If I was in Florida, I would be wanting Ron DeSantis to not run. I want him to keep having some say over my life. I don't care if he's the second coming of Jesus. He's not going to walk into Washington, D.C. and overcome an entire federal government that hates his guts and wants to kneecap his agenda. We just watched what happened to Trump. Why would I want to waste my star in the swamp? I wouldn't want him to run, to be honest.
Jesse, I totally get it. Look, that's the black-pilled version of this. I would say that the white-pilled version of this would be that maybe he is Reagan too. Like, he's the closest thing, I think, to a transcendent politician in that he got through the COVID thing as clearly the leader of America, of a free America, an America that you and I want to live in, right? He did that. Then he wins by 20 points here in Florida, so gets all of these new voters. He gets these new implants to come into the state, vote the right way, and he flipped areas like Miami to red. He's got supermajorities both sides. So the point is, he's done so much. I'm sort of making both arguments at the same time. On one hand, I'm saying that he's done so much here. He's just getting started. Let's keep running with that. On the other hand, it's like he's proven that he is willing to, fight the right things. Nobody said fight Disney. He said, I'll fight Disney. Well, congratulations. Disney just lost a whole bunch of tax exemption. Their airport's closed. There's going to be a state-appointed board in charge of what's going on over there. He beat the mouse. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I do have to push back on one thing you just said. We'll come back to, actually, I want to ask you something else about Nikki Haley. Before we get back to her, you said, everything's great in Florida or something like that. Now, I love Florida, as you well know. I'm probably going to end up living there one day. I love the daggone place so much if I can actually afford it.
House across the street is for sale, man. I'm going to send you the Zillow listing.
Don't text me, Dave. I probably can't afford where you live anyway. But let's push back on one thing here. You did move from Cali to Florida. The weather in Florida sucks compared to California. There's no comparison.
No, listen, it's just not true. I know people say, oh, it's humid, my hair. First off, there's products. Look, my hair, I still got the height. That's number one. There are products you can use, number one. Number two, I don't know if you know about this thing, Jesse. This is going to blow your mind. There are these boxes, these electronic boxes, that you can put into a window, and if you turn a dial on them, they will literally condition the air. It is Everyone in this room has one in their place, and it's wild. I don't even know what they're called, but they literally will condition the air to be cooler. It's incredible, and we have those here in Florida.
You know what? I'm going to work harder, and I'm going to buy one for myself.
Support the First TV today and get instant access to exclusive specials like Who is Ron DeSantis, The History of FBI Scandals, and America's Worst Presidents. Visit thefirsttv.com/support or download the First TV app to become a supporter and start watching today.